This was the most dramatic own goal in the history of snooker. After Bond rolled in an outrageous pink from a near-impossible angle, Hendry, sitting in his chair, quietly began dismantling his cue, already bracing himself for defeat. With the frame-winning black hanging over the pocket, it looked like a gift that anyone in the arena could have finished, yet what followed left everyone utterly stunned. As the black was potted, some spectators even rose from their seats to head for the exits. Then, to universal disbelief, the cue ball slid perfectly into the middle pocket. Taking in the scene before him, Bond's heart sank. His eyes were filled with frustration and helpless disbelief. A player who had spent years grinding away on the fringes of the tour, he had thought beating Hendry would mark the defining moment of his career. Instead, disaster struck in the cruelest possible fashion. And yet it was precisely this freak error that produced the first ever double match point black in snooker history, giving rise to a scene without precedent. With the cue ball potted, the right to contest the black passed to Hendry. But seeing his crestfallen opponent, Hendry said nothing and instead magnanimously offered the first chance back. Ironically, this very gesture of sportsmanship would later drag him into a fierce storm of post-match debate. Bond had intended to play a routine, safety-first shot here, but successive contacts between the balls ruined the plan. Fortunately, their final positions were reasonably safe. Even so, it was clear that Bond's state of mind resembled a small boat on the verge of capsizing in a violent storm. Hendry, by contrast, returned to the table looking calm and unhurried. Perhaps, in his own mind, the outcome of the match had already been decided. Before the black had even come to rest, gasps rippled through the crowd. The positions had opened up a potential pot. Thankfully for Bond, the angle was daunting enough to deter most attempts, posing a severe test of accuracy. Faced with this once-in-a-lifetime chance to finish the match, could Bond withstand the pressure and seal it? The black did not go in. The crowd collectively held its breath for Bond. Crucially, the balls finished in safe positions. Back in his chair, his gaze remained fierce and his body taut with tension. After all, this was the single shot that would decide the match, and the slightest mistake could undo everything he had fought for. And standing opposite him was the legendary Stephen Hendry. Hendry's next shot was clearly played with too little conviction, although time may have taken a slight toll on his cue ball control. As a 7-time world champion, this was not the standard one would expect if he were fully committed. Now, with another chance to kill the frame presenting itself, what choice would Bond make? Let us see how it unfolds. At the decisive moment of double match point, Bond was suffocating under the weight of pressure. His right hand trembled uncontrollably. With no alternative, he stood up from the table to steady his nerves. That brief pause alone was proof enough. When faced with such a kill or be killed moment, most players struggle to master the turmoil within. After long deliberation, Bond opted for a safety shot. Unless the pot was brutally straightforward, he simply could not summon the courage to take on the risk. Applause washed over him from the stands, warm and reassuring, carrying encouragement and support. But Hendry's next action struck like a thunderclap, instantly hurling him into the eye of a public storm. At the very last moment, Hendry made a blatant error, once again gifting his opponent a middle pocket chance. He then returned to his seat with visible relief. Only then did everyone begin to understand. For Hendry, the moment the cue ball was potted, the outcome of the match had already been settled. And if victory could only be claimed in a manner he felt unbecoming, it was a win he would rather live without. When the black was finally sunk for the win, Bond punched the air in celebration. In the end, he held his nerve, withstood the pressure, and secured the most dramatic victory of his career.